We're going to be showing the top 10 2K ratings.
Number 10.
I mean, we battling in the West right now, so no.
Yeah, no for me.
Number 9.
Oh my goodness.
Number 5.
Yeah, OG still in there hanging around like that. I like that.
Number 4.
I'm not going to say too much.
Number 2.
Like, he looks like he's been in the league like 100 years.
100 years.
I mean,
Number 1.
you just really got to be open, to get to that. And I'll low-key be mad.
You're at 87, 39.
Chip.
Oh, you want to talk about Chip?
Chip.
80.
Oh, chips.
Chip was hot.
We'll talk about
Chips.
that later.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We're here with Jaren Jackson. We're going to be showing the top 10 2K ratings, and that'll be shown later on in the video. So we'll get straight to it. How are you feeling about this? These in-season tournament games? Anyone that you're looking at particular that you mark down on the calendar?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, just
I just want to get back on the court anyway. The summer's been too long, so it can be any game. It can be preseason. It can be anything.
Okay, not even the last in-season tournament game? There's not one specific you're looking at?
I know you're probably leading, trying to get to something, but I'm not even gonna do that.
Sorry, I had to ask that. Sorry about that.
How about you get to it? What are you getting to?
Please.
If he doesn't want to lead into that, we
Let's
won't
get-
go
let's
there.
get- let's go there.
Please, bro.
Let's go there.
I think the Pelicans play the Grizzlies on the last in-season tournament game. Probably gonna be a pretty important game, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you have a rivalry, these teams?
It's always interesting. I think just because the states are close together, people's families are probably traveling to the game. A lot of trash talk. There's never been I know he probably has some interesting memories, but it's never been
the Ja games last year.
Oh yeah.
That was
those are crazy.
That was a moment.
Those are crazy. I mean, I definitely before that game, I don't even have to say what game. It's just that game. The night prior, I was like in my bed, sleep, thinking about like what best case scenario happened. I'm like, yo, if he does this, like that'll be crazy. And it was crazy how it went like that. It felt like we run like 10 games that game.
Did you have to bring that up?
I mean, you know what I was going to.
He definitely watched it. He was like, ooh, that's kind of nice.
What are you looking for as we get closer to the start of the season? You guys have been in an interesting position where, you were the hunted. You were one of the favorites in the conference. Then obviously last year, insane amount of injuries. Is about as bad of luck as a team could have. And so now you're in a little bit of a different position. But everyone, like we were talking about this on the way over here, like everybody who knows the NBA knows, you guys are going to be in the conversation. How has your perspective changed as you're talking about like your excitement leading into the season?
Mm-hmm. I was blessed to play with so many people last year. I mean, so many people were coming in the lineup trying to prove themselves, and even though we weren't winning as much, they were playing hard. So I got to give them credit for that. Like you don't really have that team chemistry. You're playing with new guys, and we're still in games for the most part. Closing games was an issue at times, but next year, I mean, it's a different story. We're coming in healthy. God willing, you stay like that, and we know everything just swings like this. You're gonna have ups and downs. You just gotta stay even for real, and that's what we were doing last year. Even when it was going a little haywire, we're still having fun out there, no matter what.
What do you think it is about Coach Jenkins that has allowed him, like we talk about like Gigi, for example, like the next man up mentality that you guys have? Is there something in particular that he does that you feel like is unique, knowing how most of the guys are around the league?
Yeah, I mean, he's a player's coach. Kind of gives you that confidence, like in practice, shoot the ball, let it fly at any point. And when you have a coach that gives everybody that confidence, here and there's a little, if I really get into it, there's different things you should think about per player, but you should shoot the ball and you should feel good about it and feel confident about it, and you put in the work. And that's what I always say. You should just lean on your work. And we love him. Like, we're locked in. I mean, you can see him even in games. He was out there on the court sometimes. Like when it really got down to it, he was playing defense. If a man fell down, he was out there. So I rock with him.
Yeah, I would say Or I'll just ask you, going a little bit different direction. What was probably the biggest thing you learned from last year, especially because, Ja goes down, Dez is out for a little while. Now you're probably like the number one option. People are leaning on you to score the ball. Like, what's something that you really learned from last season that you think you can take into the next one?
You have to know your own scouting report. You have to know what you think teams are going to try to take away. Film just becomes that more important because you're featured so much, and doubles are going to come, triples are going to come. You got to be able to find the right man when they're open. Get rest. So many different things, like becoming more of a number one option for that stretch of games, and pretty much from that point on to the end of the year, it helped me grow like more than anything. Like I was so excited for those games, no matter what, who was out there, no matter what was going on. I mean, I brought the ball up sometimes. I was in the post. I was trying to pass. I was trying to score. I was trying to shoot. I mean, it's whatever we needed to win at the time. And I hadn't been in a situation like that. I think since I started playing when I was younger, like I hadn't been that option. Like even in college, if you look, like in high school, I always had great teams and we had a bunch of options. But as far as like bringing the ball up, stuff like that, like that was dope.
Did your prep change from an approach standpoint?
Not mentally. I think I've always been pretty kind of a control freak about my routine and how I want to get things done and how I prepare for games in the days before and after. But maybe like flipping that switch to kind of not pace the game, but know when. That's what we would work on, like knowing when to go, when to. You can probably score every single time if you really tried and you have the ball as every possession if you really try, or at least get a shot up. But sometimes that's not the play. Sometimes that's not what's going to help. Sometimes you need to get guys confidence, get guys involved, really make something happen out there.
It's funny you mentioned that because, like, during the year when we play against Memphis, like, one, it's sort of like a tactic. One of the tactics that I use when I'm, like, talking to different guys on different teams is, like, I try to, like, relax them a little bit by, like, bringing up just very random stuff. Jaren's one of the only ones where, like, you're talking to him and he'll literally just look at you and not say a word. So I just leave him alone most of the time. But I definitely try to be like, yo, like, Jay, like, what's up, bro? Like, you good, man? He's just like, what's up? And I was like, all right.
You get one, like, maybe, like, and if you ask me too late, like, if you're like if you're past halfway point in the first quarter, like, no, we're not. It's maybe like pregame, like, yo.
Who's the biggest talker
on that team?
No, in general.
Oh, in general? Oof.
J-Dub.
He's
like, I know what he does.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll like be like, yo, good to see you though. But then like, nah.
J-Dub's up there for sure.
J-Dub's up there.
Yeah.
Because he wants to talk XOs. He wants to talk X and O's.
What's funny is, like, even during the playoffs, he's like talking. I'm like, yo, bro, this is game 2, bro. He can't be speaking.
He wants to talk basketball. He's like, man, did you see that? Why'd he cut to the I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, like, worry about your stuff.
Did you have anyone when you were a rookie who you tried to talk to who just deaded you?
Nah. Rookie, you're thinking about other stuff. You're just trying to figure it out. There was no time for all that.
Yeah.
There was no time for all that. Any positive or negative, I'm not talking to anybody really. They might be talking to me. No. They talk about you to other people if you're a rookie. They'll be like, this a rookie? Like, they'll start talking to the vets about how they got a rookie on me or whatever. Look at this rook. Like, they don't even care. I'm like, all right.
So then that's actually could lead into my next question. So what do you think has been the biggest, growth for you defensively as you have gotten older and, got more years under your belt?
I think when you're really young, you swat, you go for that highlight, that Dwight Howard looking block, and you learn you really want to keep possession of the ball. You learn it's not really about how it looks. It's just about deterring the shot. So I think when I'm picking my spots better, like going for getting blocks really came from me just not trying to get them and just trying to make them miss, just walling up at times, and then maybe at the end I get a block or use your pinky or something like that. And that we kept possession. Like when we keep possession, we go on runs, we're getting out and running. And that just changed the game for us so much because then it leads to timeouts. It leads to the other team just kind of in a frenzy. They're tired. They don't want to run. Like that really helped. A couple of years ago, I flipped that switch, I think, better. Guards got better, so I couldn't just swat everything. I learned that guards are laying. They got better trainers. They're out in L.A. They're They're spinning the ball. They're learning slow steps. I'm like, yeah, you can't be doing all that.
Do you feel like their anticipation changed specifically because of you? Just in terms of the way because like we were talking about this a couple of days ago when we were sort of getting ready for this. Your anticipation, is sort of one of one in the league, and so they know, when they're doing their pregame prep, like they know what you're sort of presenting back there. And so could you feel like a little bit of a shift as you're sort of like figuring out your own sort of like defensive preparation in terms of how guards are attacking you?
Yeah, I feel like my timing also came from like offense. Like I shoot the same shots as they do. I don't always shoot your classic brute big man shots all game. Like I might shoot a floater, or I might get to something, or try to use my quickness at times. So I know what they're looking for when they're coming in the paint. They're probably thinking a couple things. I just want to make them double think, force them into something that they don't want to do, and then it's really just about the contest because at the end of the day, they got to miss. But yeah, I think training probably changed when, not just because of me, but just a bunch of people coming in the league with better timing and better guard skills and recognition. Now we got Wemby and people training with sticks, like 10-foot sticks everywhere, like slow steps, how to deal with him.
No, absolutely. We'll shift over a little bit. How do you feel about, Zach Edey coming to the team, man? What would you see, like what differences do you see in him and Steve-O per se? Pretty similar players, but, what would be like differences that you see between the two?
Yeah, well, first, Steve-O's a psycho. Steve-O's crazy. I mean, he literally researches like the human body to know where to put his hands to get you off balance, so he doesn't have to use as much strength. He doesn't just go to try to use all his strength, even though he's stronger than you. He just saves it and just like goes like this and goes like this in weird areas.
Oh, yep, I know.
And
from personal experience.
He tried to lift you off your feet. Like he really tried to.
Nope, he did.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
He was successful.
He got 1 foot. It was 1 foot off, but I didn't feel great about it after that. I'll say that. But continue what you were saying.
He's so whatever he is, he's just crazy. Zach, he's just coming in with a little different resume. I mean, he's player of the year twice. He has great feel for the game, great touch, and I think he can shoot it better than people think. Just from what I've seen briefly, like in practices, internally, like I've seen some stuff where I'm like, oh. And in college is a different game. You may not have been able to show all that. When I got there to Memphis the other day and we were playing fives for the first time, he was on my team, and I hadn't played with a guy taller than me in a long time, since probably like high school or in AAU, and I was just having a blast, like high-low passes. Like I threw him a lob off the backboard in the half court, just kind of like tried a little like off the backboard, and it worked. And he's just everywhere. I mean, and he's still young. It's his first year. I mean, he didn't even play. So I'm looking forward to everything he got going.
What do you think when you think about the mentality that you guys have built over the last couple of years, for a guy like Zach, for a rookie coming in, what are you preaching? Obviously, there's gonna be a work in progress on the court, but what are you preaching? Sort of, how does he fit in with you guys? Because like we talk about this with you.
Well, like
we
off the court?
Not off the court, but just
he's
like
chill.
But how does he? The way that you guys are you're coming in with a swagger. Mm-hmm. Like how do you as a rookie fit in with that right away? Is that just learned experience?
Oh, you'll get it right away. I give it one preseason game,
and he'll just get it.
You'll get it, because I mean, we came in, we were rookies too, and everyone was saying, "Oh, there's the sweat, whatever you want to call it, what you were watching is us in our first, second, third years, just in the league, not just playing with each other." So that's just all we know, and it's important to keep that culture strong so you can carry it on to anybody who comes in and understands, so we can all just keep vibing. But I think it's just natural. It's nothing that we ever like had to force or talk about. That was the whole point. Like anything we did that was on the court, like rituals, any little, like it was just on the fly, and it just kept going. Like we're just like, okay, yeah, this is my routine because I do this. This is my ritual because we do this, and everything's just real genuine.
We talked about this with Dez a little bit too. Like how much of this also, I mean, you're in a little bit of a different, you and Ja are probably a little bit different than him, that you guys are, top 5 picks, but you guys are underestimated, and you're kind of slept on. And so is there a part of that you are, now that you're not underestimated anymore, So are you ever kind of like, we need to put artificial chips on our shoulder? We need to figure out how to keep that kind of buzz going.
You'd be surprised at like how many different ways or like what you can be mad about. Because like you have a chip on your shoulder when you get in the league. That's pretty simple. You haven't been in the league. Like I think the chip on my shoulder probably grew since I've been in the league just because like just of different things. Like you get knocked out of the playoffs, it's a whole different feeling than you think. Like you go home and then you watch TV and you really can't watch the games well. Like it never really gets fun to watch. So you're always mad. You just learn how to like tilt it and gear it, where you need and into production and workouts, all that stuff. But you're never really, you'd be surprised, bro. Like we're never really like that happy. We're happy, but we're not that,
You feel that way?
Not that happy. I don't know.
We're happy. That sounds real gloomy. That sounds real. I'm happy. Like I love being out there. Like I'm blessed to, all that stuff. But, bro, I mean,
well, you're a competitor.
Yeah, and that doesn't go away though.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't go away like at all.
Absolutely. Another teammate of yours, Gigi Jackson, guy from around my way as well. Probably laughing because he's a very goofy dude. That's something that comes up when it comes to Gigi. But just seeing him in his whole process, from college. I mean, even starting from high school, being one of the top recruits in high school, going to South Carolina, not having such a great year, not getting drafted where he wanted to get drafted, and then coming onto the scene and, just showing himself. And what are some things that you saw out of him that, probably led to that?
I mean, well, to start, his work ethic, amazing work ethic. He touched the G League, so whenever you do that and you go down there, you got to have a strong mind. You probably don't know how strong of a mind you have to have until you get there, and then when you come back, you're in attack mode and you don't want to go back, so you have a different chip on your shoulder, whatever. But I think his work carried him. His shot, I remember in the beginning of the year, he's like, "Dang, I can't even shoot. This the 3-point line's pretty far." Like he's saying that. The mid-range, his legs hurt, practice. And now, a little bit of time comes. I'm like, bro, I tried to tell him, like, bro, it's all right. Like, whatever will change it. But, it's hard to see it when you're in it at the time. And even it was hard for me. But then out of nowhere, just deep threes. He's handling the ball with confidence. I think when he got his wind, he was able to do everything that he knows how to do. And when you don't have your wind, you just resort to other things and it's not really your game. But when you have your wind and you have everything, like I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's going to be one of the best wings in our game. I think he's got everything. It really does.
What'd you see from him, knowing him for so long?
I mean, I knew him from like sort of afar to an extent, but I remember when he was in high school, just watching him play, and I was just like, he's not moving like a regular like high school kid. Like he was a big guard even then. Like they were saying like he's a big man. But I was like, I don't know. He shoots it well. He moves very well, and like all that stuff translates. Like I'm not saying I'm a talent scout, but I can see what is going to translate, what's not going to translate to the NBA game, and I think he's been doing really well, and I think he's going to do very well in this league.
I wanted to ask you about the 2018 draft. Looking back in retrospect, I think people now are saying this is looking like one of the better drafts in recent NBA history, if not in NBA history in general. What is your sort of like perspective on that class at this point? Having been through enough with these guys, having played FIBA with them, having played playoff battles against them, like how are you looking at that group now that you've been through it?
I think that group you could really tell, and even when we were younger, like just who was standing out, and I felt like that list of people who were standing out when we were younger kind of just kept replicating itself pretty often. Where you're like, oh wow, and like even when people were trying to say, when Trey was airballing a little bit in summer league, I was like, this dude is just not gonna be airballing very much longer. Like it's gonna be wicked. Like I was in the pick between Trey and Luka. So I mean, I'm looking around like this is your class. I mean, that's heavyweight. They were all-star starters the year they were in the rookie sophomore game with me. I'm like, why are y'all here? Y'all playing on Sunday? Like it's crazy. Like then you go down the line, even outside the lotto, it got wicked. People were coming up out of nowhere. I think a lot of people had chip on their shoulder from outside the lotto in the second round, and they ended up really showing out. I can't remember everybody like how everybody else remembers every pick and all that stuff, but
well, you didn't have that many before you.
I'm about to say you didn't have many before you, so it's a little different when you're like 17 or something like that. So, yeah.
Like, Trey, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Absolutely. I was 17. That's why I said that. Are you waiting for me to go down the list?
I mean, listen, if you want to.
I didn't ask that, but if you,
we can go as Cade, Jalen, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. 5 was Jalen Suggs. 6 was Giddey. 7 was Kuminga. 8 was Franz. 9, Davion Mitchell. 10 was Zaire. 11, that was, who was 11? 11 might have been Book Knight. Primo was 12. 13 was Duarte. 14 was Moody. 15 Kispert. 16 Şengün. 17 Trey Murphy. I think that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
He said he's not angry.
Yeah, no, we're all angry. Yeah, you see where it is. No. It's all like somewhere.
Different chips.
Literally.
Yeah, it ran out of space on my shoulder. So yeah, different chips.
Do you have a favorite Ja dunk?
Ooh, probably the one on Podol, but the second one. Because we were talking about it, like, dude, if he does it again, that'll be funny. And then he kind of got him, and I was like, it definitely wasn't as bad as the first one. Like the first one was worse. And I remember if you look at the replay, like he kind of just moved, respect, because it's like I would, but it was crazy. Because anytime we talk about it before and it happens, I think that's my favorite. And the Wemby one, because he hit his arm, they didn't call it, and we were like, is he gonna get him today? It's like I don't think he's gonna get him, and he got him. I was like, oh, stop the game, like.
Did you have one?
Of Jaws?
Yeah.
Probably a playoff series against Minnesota on Beasley. Yeah, that was crazy.
That one was crazy.
That one was crazy.
It sucks because we were losing, so the crowd really was just kind of like, oh. And we were kind of like, just get back. And we didn't really like recognize how crazy it was because it's a playoff game and we're trying to win. But it was like, later we're like, yo, this dude just...
No, it was crazy watching it on TV. I'll tell you that. So
if you were on the other side of that, how would you? And he's defensive player of the year. He's gunning for you. What would you? What do you do?
I probably would just jump at the rim more. Like no matter how high you jump, you gotta put it in the basket. So I'm not saying that's gonna work. I'm just saying that is the route I'm going. I'm probably not jumping out at him. Or I'm going to jump, like, past him and try to, like, if he thinks he's going to be amazing and put it here, I'm going to try to get it from over here. I've done that before. There's different things. I don't have to deal with that, though.
Why do you say that exactly?
What do you mean? I'm watching it. I
thought you were saying just in general from other people.
No, I don't. Everybody else, that's everybody else.
Okay,
Him specifically, I don't have to deal with that. That's y'all job.
Got you.
Are you jumping?
Yeah, I probably will.
I mean, you probably have to. Otherwise, you're probably going to be like, what?
They're going to look at it because I don't really take charges like that, so I got to jump.
It's either that or let them go. And that looks crazy.
I can't do that. So, yeah. So, coming from somebody who missed a portion of the season last year as well, when you got the news about your injury, like, what are some of the things that went through your mind? Obviously, I'm not trying to bring it down to a dark time, but obviously for people that go through that type of stuff, injuries, especially unexpected right before the season, what goes through your mind and like how do you just persevere through all that stuff?
Well, first time you get hurt, that wasn't my first time being hurt.
Yes.
And you never want to go through that. It teaches you a lot, and rehab teaches you a lot just about your daily habits and coming in, daily deposits, doing something every day, and really just focusing on the little things, celebrating the little wins, even though you don't want to. I won't say fake it till you make it, but if you start to just push through how you feel and kind of get outside yourself and give up your energy to everybody else, it will come back. Because if you're bringing the room down, they're not going to be able to pick you up because they're just going to be like getting brought down too. Like when when BC was hurt, when Brandon Clark was hurt this year, I mean, he never had one day where he brought anybody down, and that's what he said. Like he said that the first day, like he tore his Achilles, and then I was in his room talking to him that day. Like it hadn't even been 5 hours, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna bring nobody down, whatever." And he has a year of rehab to do, so he's talking at that point. He really never did bring anybody down the whole time. He might have had like 1 or 2 days where he's like, but like he earned that. Like after months and months of just. Like, I thought it was going to be way worse. I thought it was going to be, but he just lit up the room, gave us energy. So we gave it back. Like, it was all good.
What'd you learn?
I think the biggest thing that I learned was that, like he said, you have to fall in love with the process because each day is just a different task and like a different hurdle that you have to accomplish. Like, when I first got the news, like I was really really hurt about it because I'm going into my 3rd year. Like I'll be extension eligible that next summer. Like I don't want any roadblocks or anything like that. And so I was like those first few days, like it was rough. And then also you got put into perspective. Like in February, I was in the NBA dunk contest. And then September, my parents were walking me up the steps. Mm-hmm. Like crazy how life works. And so biggest thing was I just took a step back and was like, look, this is a very like minor thing in the grand scheme of like real world problems. Like I'm worried about not being able to play basketball when there's, families out here that have much bigger things to deal with. So I think that was the biggest thing, just taking a step back and adding perspective.
You gotta have that.
You feel like this has gotten easier for you over time. Just learning this. This is not your first rodeo with any of these challenges. And so, like, if you look at 2019 Jaren versus now, dealing with this,
2019, I don't even think I can connect with those thoughts that I had then. I think those thoughts were way more explosive day to day, and I wasn't. It's like it wasn't really about the rehab and you missing days because you'll get it done. You'll come in and do what you have to do because you'll have so much energy built up that you'll have to put it somewhere, and sitting around the house get a little depressing. You got to really get out of the house, like go to the facility, get it in. Like that became rewarding to me. Like I loved that because it was something. But like in between that time, like pre-game, walking around, like it is your head is just because it's way longer. It feels way longer because you're not playing. You don't feel like looking at everybody get ready. You don't feel like looking at everybody get hype. You got to turn them up still to get hype and then go watch. So it's just it's a lot. And back then, I definitely was a little more cynical, like in my own head. Like I wouldn't express it for real, but I would just be a little more like, this is annoying, this is some bullshit, like, et cetera.
Speaking of old Jaren, this is a change of subject, but I don't think I've ever asked you this. What happened when you got raided by the FBI?
Got raided? I didn't get raided by FBI.
Bro,
See, this is the problem.
This is Google. So what? So tell the story. So what happened?
Why are we even?
What happened?
I didn't get raided by the FBI, bro.
Then what happened?
Is that thing? Is it not? Was the thing bullshit?
It's not. It's not. It's not BS.
Okay.
It's like I just downloaded some stuff.
Okay.
My dad over there.
Is it a good story or no?
They called my dad's phone and they were like, they called him a little bit and I don't think he knew who it was, so he didn't answer. And then like he answered like 3 days later. He was like, "What's up?" And then they were like, "Look, your son's downloading this. Like he should probably stop. Like otherwise it's gonna get bad." I don't know what the warning. I don't think he gave me the full consequence because he just told me to stop. And I stopped because I was like freaked out because I thought he was kidding and he was just trying to spook me. But then he told me like, I think it was like, I don't know, probably like the Boondocks season 2. I had the whole thing or the whole series, and they can tag your file. So they tagged it and followed the file to my computer. And once they get it, they can see everything that I have where it is. So they see all the seasons of everything, movies, and they're just like, look, like, like, shit.
This is very understandable.
No.
It's easy.
Time out.
What?
You got rated for downloading the Boondocks.
The series.
When you could watch it on HBO Max.
We didn't have that. It's before. This is when you had like, I don't even want to give the websites that it was, but there were websites you go find it, download it, and I could have it on my You can jailbreak your phone, stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
it was really all that.
That's
world.
a little better, but I was about to say, come on, dog.
No. It wasn't that crazy. I could have done better for sure, but yeah, I didn't get rated. That's been wild.
It is just bad luck because everybody in this room has done that. And you just,
I know.
Don't try to incriminate
everybody in this room has
you
done
look
that.
up will you get in trouble. They're like, yeah, it's a 1 in a million chance. They'll never really do it. You only really get tagged if you download something like really popular. Like if you download like the number one movie
like
in the world,
or something.
like that's still in theaters. Yeah, like they'll track that. Like they'll have comments be like, oh, this is tracked, this is tagged. All right, yeah, bet. Don't download it. So
before we get to the 2K thing, I have a question for both you guys. This is sort of to your thing about your mentality changing from 2019. When you're talking to guys like Zach, when you're talking to just rookies who hit you up just for advice, what have you learned the most about basketball on the court and off the court in the last sort of 6 years? That like if you're going to go to the PA and you're going to talk, what's your sort of like first lesson that you're telling everybody?
My dad always says, don't get bored making shots. When you're in there every day practicing, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff you're going to be working on. Because if you're in a role, you're going to be working on stuff for that role. If you're, and if it's not going well, like don't get tired of making shots in practice. And maybe you shoot 2 in the game, you go 2 for 3 in a game, and you go 2 for 3 from 3. Like don't get tired the next day in practice coming in and doing the same thing, same amount, same reps. All those boring habits, some people call it boring. Some coaches I have called it boring. Like, are what's gonna win. That's what's gonna win. Like the same things all the time. Don't be afraid to be vocal. I'll say, be very, very vocal. It keeps you on the floor. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Embrace that, because then that will in turn flip, and you'll be comfortable with that. Be way ahead of everybody. Yeah, like stay patient's an easy one, but it's really like stay level, because it's gonna be ups and downs. And there's no reason, like, even when it gets up, don't get up, because, yeah, like, I've made that mistake, too. Like, I've been rolling and thought whatever you thought, and then you're not rolling for a second, you're like, what's going on? But, like, it never was supposed to be any of that. It was just supposed to be good. It's just supposed to be straight. But you're just learning, putting pieces together, stuff like that.
You have anything?
I think it's more so just reemphasizing, like just keeping the main thing. Like you're here to play basketball, like that is your job. Obviously the lifestyle is great. You're able to buy a lot of things that you were never able to buy, but all that stuff stops if you don't worry about basketball first. So, make sure you get your work done. And then after that, you just enjoy yourself, know yourself. And I think the biggest thing is for off the court is just find things that you like doing outside of basketball. Like, I'm one person that I, live, eat, breathe, sleep basketball. Like I watch basketball all the time, but like I still have to have my moments where like I get away from it. So it's almost like you kind of miss it and you're ready to go back into the next day and just, grind all over again.
What you do, play 2K?
Yeah, I do play 2K. Yep. Yeah. I have a good time playing.
Way to get away from the game.
Yeah, get away from the game and play another basketball game. Yep.
That's a great way in. So we're doing this obviously in partnership with 2K. We're going to reveal their top 10 ratings, probably go from 10 down to 1. I thought it might be interesting basically to say each player and then maybe give like a one-word reaction or something like that to the different guys, like a story or whatever. Number 10, Anthony Davis, 94 overall.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
Any favorite AD moments?
Favorite AD moments? I mean, we battling in the West right now, so no.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, no favorites for me. Fair. I can't lie.
Number nine, KD, 94 overall.
Yeah, OG still in there hanging around like that. I like. What'd you think?
What was your? We didn't ask you. What was your Paris reaction watching those guys?
Oh, which was
just all of it.
It was just like in awe of everything. Everything. It's like when you're trading everybody to the same team in a game and they're really hooping and you're just so interested on how y'all play together. Like, it's just so interesting to watch. I felt like you really don't want to miss anything. Like, them walking out of the huddle, walking into every play. Like, you've been watching these guys since you were 10 years old. Like, now they're all on the same team and you care now. Like, I'm seeing the whole staff from when I was on USA, like everybody there working. You want them to get that medal. You're just so invested in it. It was crazy. KD's been doing this for a long time. I mean, he was my favorite player growing up. So just seeing everything, it's insane.
Do you have a favorite moment?
KD?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. One of my first like home games, we played against Brooklyn. And at the time, I was probably playing like 5-10 minutes a game. So like for the most of the game, I'm watching. And like I'm a hater at heart. And so like I don't really get too hype about other people doing stuff. But like I'm watching KD and I'm like, this dude is elite. Like he's going through a workout while like the guys on our team are really just like guarding him as hard as they can. So it's like he just doesn't see contests, and it was like really cool to watch. And that was like one of the only times where I was like, all right, this is the NBA. These guys are like really, really good.
Yeah, I think I saw KD go with like 13 for 14, all pull-ups in Memphis. Missed his first shot like in the fourth. I wasn't playing. But, you know.
It would have been different. Maybe.
Maybe. I wasn't in the game, bro. I had nothing to do with none of those buckets. They were all pull-ups too. Like he don't really – that rim stuff is boring for him. He's just trying to have fun.
Yeah. So you said didn't see contest. Number 8, cover star, Jayson Tatum, 95 overall.
Champ, yeah. Good stuff.
Number 7, Stephen Curry, 95 overall.
Respectable.
Yeah, crazy.
You think that was his? Do you think those 2 games out there were where would you rank them in his pantheon? It's a hard question to answer.
I mean, they say that last shot he made after the step back is probably one of his best threes ever. I could see that. Just because, like, I felt like it was more of everything that was happening because of it. Like, he hit 4 in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone's going like this.
Yeah.
They're running around. They can't wait to do this. They can't wait to hit that. They've been getting this hit on them every game.
The photo of him and Vic from the first half was crazy, too. Where Vic's hand is extended. He gets the shot over.
And they're like, he made this.
Yeah. Is like,
that's a wicked shot.
I mean, bro, he be in the lab.
Number 6, LeBron James, 95 overall.
95 overall.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't really argue with that.
Yeah,
like,
past everybody and everything. So
yeah,
it's all good.
Number 5, Joel Embiid, 96 overall.
Okay. Yeah.
Reasonable.
70 points, right?
Yeah.
The other day. For sure.
Number 4, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 96 overall.
Yeah. Yeah. He earned that one for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much, but yeah. After what we just experienced. But yeah, I definitely think he's deserving.
Number 3, Giannis, 97 overall.
He's always around, yeah.
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 Number 2, Luka, 97 overall. Yeah. When you're talking about the draft before, when did you always knew Luka was good.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know Luka was like that?
Shit. January.
Early?
On the first year.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, you're going to be, I didn't know I knew who he was, but when he got on the draft bus, I was like, he's just like, hey guys, like, it's like your first time seeing this guy everyone's talking about, like this myth. I'm like, what's this kid? And then it's just like, oh wow, okay. And a month later, like you're fine. And then everything else has just been insane. Like he looks like he's been in the league like 100 years. It's crazy.
100 years. It's hilarious.
Yeah, insane. I mean that.
Yeah. Number 1, the Joker, 97 overall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 97 overall is number 1?
Yeah.
There's no 98s?
Nope.
Can we get to that, or is that like?
I think so. I feel like
you just really got to be hooping, huh, to get to that.
I know.
I would like to know the answer. Like, has there been a 98?
There had to have been.
I mean, they had.
It probably was Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, other games they start for 99.
Joker got 3 MVPs.
Yeah.
He had 97. I wish I had 3 MVPs. You give me a 97. I'll low-key be mad.
It is wild. I'm actually curious.
I don't think he cares at all.
I know, right? Yeah. Who? 99?
Wow.
99?
That's crazy, though. Like, because, all respect to Asia, but, like, they're both cover athletes, and then she's a 99, he's a 95. That's, But, hey.
Asia should just be Asia should be 100, and Joker needs to be like 98.
I saw a funny thing.
What's 12? What's 12? What's he on there?
What's who?
Oh,
Ja.
what's Ja?
Ja's 20. He's a 90.
He's a what?
Ja's a 90 overall. He's 20. Tyrese is 90. Halliburton, he's 19. Wemby's 91. 18. Kawhi is 92. 17. Kyrie, 92 overall. 16. Jaylen Brown.
What's the highest second year ever? Is that Wemby ever?
Feels like it has to be,
second
right?
year before the season starts? Yeah. Not even Luka, right? Maybe
Nope.
not. Wow.
You're at 87, 39.
Okay.
That'll be a 90, 95 by next year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see
Chip.
the thing? Did you see the
You want to talk about a chip? I'm
Chip.
at 80.
Oh, chips.
Trey was hot.
Sun
Trey
chips.
came in.
We'll talk about that later.
Chips.
Did you see the hustle stat for this?
Listen.
The only players that ever get a 99 in hustle are Bill Russell, Dennis Rodman, and Josh Hart.
Oh my goodness.
Josh Hart.
Oh my goodness.
Not even
Hart.
McCollum or
Those are the
Alvarado?
only three
McCollum?
that ever get it.
CJ?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say we can't be
CJ is just
TJ.
leading.
Yeah, no, that's just
TJ. Yeah.
TJ McConnell.
CJ?
Yeah,
I like Josh.
McCollum.
Josh deserves a 99. I just can't believe that no one else has gotten it. Like that feels
In
like
hustle?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean he plays the whole game.
Yeah, I feel like
minutes should count for this stat because you know how they be in New York.
True.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's true.
Running.
They play the whole game.
You got any last questions?
Going to fashion right quick.
Yes.
What's been your fashion progression from your rookie year to now?
Rookie year, I was just dreaming about it. I was not putting it on. I was putting on Supreme tees here and there with whatever I had in the closet with some tight, skinny jeans, looking like Skate 3. Now I think it's just I've seen so much, I've consumed so much media and visuals and looked up to so many people and artists that it's like painting a picture. And then, I get help from Tony to put everything together and she makes like whatever's in my head like actually look good. Because sometimes if you just,
Oh, yes.
it might just be in your head and it really ain't.
You pack it up and then you get to the city, you put your feet on, you're like, this is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That don't happen no more. That hasn't happened for years. I like to keep it like that. I just think it's just been great. I love clothes. I see him every time I go to fittings for shows and all that. So I see him every time.
You feel like you're there yet?
Which fashion wise?
Yeah.
Not yet. No, not yet.
There what?
I'm just there in terms of the confidence you're talking about. Like
confidence.
The confidence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Confidence, I'm there for sure. Like I'm confident what I put on.
I've worn a lot of stuff.
if we were doing the 2K ratings of league fits?
Oh,
that's
Top
a good
five.
one. Right there. That's a good one.
was Asia?
She's a 99.
Yeah.
You can't pick yourself.
Oh,
Oh damn.
Either you can't pick yourself. This is the last question. This is the last question.
Hey,
We gotta go.
I promise you, it'd been higher than 80 if I
Yeah.
if I talked
Yeah,
about my
you can't.
fits.
I can't pick either of each other.
fits, bro. Ooh, I can't pick myself.
You can't pick either. Either of you cannot be picked in this top five.
Top 5.
2K fits. Yeah.
We're just giving love.
Oh, he's a hater. I like it.
That's what he said. He's angry.
Who do we see? Who do we be seeing? Who do we be? I feel like you have to. Who goes over to Europe? Who do we see? Terry.
Terry dresses well.
Terry.
Nikhil also dresses well.
Mhm.
Shay.
I mean, obviously, yes.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna count him. We can't.
Yeah,
we can't
he's
count him.
It's almost like you saying Drake
Yeah.
to an extent. Like,
Yeah, it's
Drake,
okay, bro.
You got it.
I'm not counting the kill either. Then I'm not, both of them can go over there.
All right.
They got it. They did real well.
Yeah. I would say Book. Book is up there as
Book?
well. He's a
Mhm.
simple style, like simple, fashion wise.
You seen DB? Yeah, Dylan Brooks. You seen his chain?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Change
that
code,
with everything else.
the shirtless be crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Walking
He's
to the
doing
game
it.
shirtless is insane.
He's doing it. That
yeah,
counts.
but if anybody would do it, it would be him. I
It would
feel
be
like
DB.
for sure him.
Let me see something on that list. I'll tell you right now. Oh, Tyrese, for sure. Maxey, for sure.
Maxi.
Jalen Green.
Paul George, for sure. Jalen, yeah.
New Zealand.
I'm gonna go Paul, Tyrese, me, because I don't care about your rules. And DB.
Caruso.
I mean, he wears cuts, right? I know he wears cuts because Luke be telling me about that.
You know what?
And
You might as
Jitty.
well throw Herb Jones in there if you want to say that.
The plain white
And
tee.
Steve-O wears open-toed shoes.
Nasty work.
Yeah, with sweats, team sweats.
I know we gotta go. Your Steve-O description was amazing. Just the
What I
way,
say?
just the
How
way
he's
you,
crazy.
just the way you described it is amazing.
Bro.
Oi, oi.
And the funny thing is about Steve-O too, he'll talk to the refs so crazy, say the wildest things, but he says it in such a like jolly mood. The refs will just start laughing. I'm like, do you not even hear what he's saying?
He's not kidding. He's
Like,
not
do you
kidding.
hear what he's saying?
It's the worst thing ever. Like,
That's amazing. All right, we got to wrap. Jaren Jackson.
let me get the thing.
We will see
got
you
no-
in Memphis. What's the date of that game?
Oh, I don't have the date, though, but it's sometime in November.
Don't worry about it, Dub.